Good day, friend, and it's another wonderful time to be with you. Your favorite program. And last week, we talked about mindset, and I hope you learned quite a lot of things. Let's talk about it with Kingdom and the Incubator Media, and want to continue to pushing those discussions that you really need to make your life better, both physically and spiritually, and to ensure that you actually come up as a responsible youth in society. So today is not going to be different. Today we'll be looking at the word lost, L-U-S-T, the word lost. I'm quite to be looking at certain things about the definition of lost, what it is. Then look at some instances, and we'll look at people claim they're in love today, whereas they're actually lost, not love. We want to look at some of all those so it can be guided, at least as a young people. That guy that is always disturb you, always come into your space, I love you. So we're able to see, able to differentiate between love and lost. And this section will be having it with a counselor. He's a youth coach too as well. Mr. Deladena will be handling this with you. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you very much for having me. Today we are looking at the word lost, and I'm sure that word is well known to everyone as time itself. Now, when we talk about lost, we are looking at the strong desire, not just a strong desire, a powerful desire, or like some people would say, a deep crave for something. That means you have a strong, powerful desire or a very deep crave for something. Now, lust can be for power. People lust for power. They want to have a certain position. They want to have certain power in their life. Some because of fame. Some for money. And then, though funny but it's true, people can also lust for knowledge.
Wow.
Yeah, people can also have a serious lust for knowledge.
That sounds strange.
Yes, but it's true. It is true. And for the purpose of this section, we'll be looking at lust as it relates to sex and sexuality.
Okay.
And as Bill Newman said, he said, for a young person, if you overcome the battle of sex, you've overcome 90% of the battle of your life. So, when we talk about lust as it relates to the opposite gender, either as a male or as a female, we call it unquenchable desire for sex.
That's lost.
That's lost. We also say that you are seeing the person through the lens of body parts. And
Not the way he appears.
No, you are seeing the person through the lens of body parts. And then you are sexualizing the person, you are fantasizing about the person. That is lost.
Okay.
We can also say that is a specific desire for the body of another person. That means you're not concerned about any other thing inside
the body
of that individual.
Wow.
So when you see a boy, when you see a girl, when you see a male or a female who is so much interested in the body of the opposite gender, he's always craving, he's always looking, he's always having this strong desire in the body so that he can whet his appetite. That is absolutely nothing other than lust. So for definition purpose, those little words that I've said are what can be used to to define lust.
Wow, thank you very much, sir. So I think these are definition getting down specific desires for the body of another person, especially opposite sex, and it could still be crave or strong or powerful desires for something, maybe power, maybe fame, maybe money, knowledge, though funny, and then as relating to sex and sexuality activities. So, and I think we'll just continue to go, because most of the things that we see all around us today, but can we say the way people dress, because most of our people that sings today and the rest just all about women and and the rest, their roles in promoting lust.
Oh well, King Emmanuel, if you want to delve into that, that means you're already taking us into what causes lust. Okay. Yeah, and then for this section, we'll not be talking about the causes. Okay. But in a nutshell, or just to answer that question, to an extent, I'll say yes. And to an extent, I will also say no.
Okay.
And my reason is this. India has the highest rape case in the world.
Okay.
But look at their women. They
They
dress up from head to toe.
Yeah.
They cover up. They don't leave or expose any part of the body.
Okay.
Yet, they have a high rate of rape. So this issue of lust, it goes beyond what people wear or what people don't wear.
Okay.
Yeah. Even if somebody wears and cover up, people who are into this lust, they undress the person in their mind before they get into this. That's why I said that they look at the body part through their own lens. They visualize what each and every part of the body is going to be like. It's going to look like even before they see it in the real sense of it. So it's a dangerous thing for people to actually be in. And then when we look at this subject, let's go deep into this. Now, just like we did on mindset the other time when we talk about the thoughts going into words, word going into actions and all that, action to habit to values, and values to destiny. The same thing in the circle of laws. There is the thought. The thought, if the thought is not controlled, if the thought is not taken charge of, if the thought is nurtured, it goes into fantasy. The person begins to fantasize a lot of things, and then before you know it, it goes into the person's attitude, the way the person behaves, and then the attitude goes into disposition. And then the disposition will now erode every sense of reasoning that the person has. That's why a person in lust cannot think straight. Let me tell you something that will shock you.
Okay.
Sometimes in 2002, a particular research was done. They used this MRI and all that. And they discovered that the same effect of cocaine on the brain, the same effect that those who take cocaine have on their brain, is the same effect that lust have on the brain.
Wow. The same effect?
The same effect.
Wow.
The same effect.
What a
The
destructive
same effect that cocaine
had on the brain.
had on the brain is the same effect
That the lust too
also had
on the brain.
And so that's to tell you that this subject is something that is very, very destructive. Very, very, if it is not checked, if it is not controlled. And what makes it also dangerous is that both the subject and the object, the subject is the person who is having the lust, and then the object is the person that the person is having the lust towards.
So both the subject and
both of them are at time. You understand? Because the person who is lusting, if he or she have his or her way, he will resort to rape.
Anything.
He will do anything to have his ways. And then the lustful person is not concerned about the other person's welfare.
Yeah,
he doesn't concern about his or emotion. He doesn't concern about how his or her
feelings,
and then whatever
dignity or prestige.
All the person is looking for is his or her own best interest, and then to satisfy his or her own appetite. And once he does that, then he discards the other person. I just throw the person away and say, "Hey, I've gotten what I want. I'm done." Then.
Because he cannot even think straight because of
yes, you can go away and things like that. So you will know you are in lust when a person's body is far more important to you than his or her soul.
Wow.
That's how you know.
When the body is
far more
important, attractive than the
person's soul, than the person's overall being.
A sense of living.
What you are only interested in
is the body structure, color,
body, and Shakespeare put it like this: he called it a waste of shame.
A waste of shame.
Shame. Meaning people who exhibit this tendency.
They don't have shame.
They have thrown shame.
They don't have shame.
They don't have it. That's why you will see. Let me give you an instance. A young girl was reporting to me.
Okay.
The girl is bigger than her actual age.
Okay.
She said, "See, Mr. Trouble, what is wrong with some of these people? Why don't they have shame or something?" And I said, "How do you mean?" He said, "Can you imagine a man that is older than my father was telling me that it is because of you that I'm coming to church?"
Wow. Oh, even church now, not even outside.
Not outside.
Wow.
Not outside. He said because of that young lady who was 18 at that time, that he was coming to church. And then after service, he was now walking with the girl. I said, "Excuse me, young lady." Okay, the girl said, "Oh, this is an elderly person. Okay, what is it now?" The man started, "You know what? I want to have you in my life. Wow. I want to do.
After church service, that's supposed to be spiritual.
He was like, "What? Daddy?" He said, No, don't call me daddy. Don't call me
uncle.
This, that. You know, it's because of you that I've been watching you. That's why I know that I had to trace you to the church that you attend, and that's why I came to church because of you and all that." And he said, "So you're an elderly man. Don't let it get to the state of..." He said, "With what I am looking at, respect has nothing to do with it," and things like that.
Shakespeare is correct.
You can imagine. Waste of shame.
Respect is out of it.
Waste of shame. Waste of shame. Another person was telling me that she was going home she was going home or something, and then she was walking on the road. A guy was driving, and kept moving towards her direction and saying, hey, sister, come in. Say, come in to do what? He said, no, I've been driving. I was looking at you from afar, this, and this, and that. Just please let me have a taste. A taste of what?
Of what?
A
Ice
taste
cream
of
or
what?
gala?
I don't know. And then it was like the girl was walking, was going, this guy was driving, and he was just begging, and begging. I'm like, please now, please, I beg of you. Okay, give me your number. Okay, this and that. And the girl was like, what is the meaning of all this embarrassment and things like that? It started raining insult, abuse at the man, and he said, hey,
It won't matter.
It does not matter, whatever, call me, whatever name you want to call me, just stay. So people don't have shame anymore when it comes to things like that. And people who are in laws, they want to get. They want to get. And they cannot wait to get what they want to get. They cannot wait. They just want it now. They want it now. Check the Bible. Amnon became sick because of Tamar.
Stepsister.
Stepsister became sick. All of it. He had malaria overnight because of his sister. Shaking took Diana just like that.
Yeah.
You understand? So people
don't talk of something that disclose very vital information because of
everything. And those who are into laws, they become liars. They become deceivers. They become manipulators. And you know one thing about laws is that it is always ugly because it is self-centered. It is always ugly because it is self-centered. It's about themselves and nothing more. And those who claim to be in love, whereas they are in lust, when they face responsibilities, they run away.
Of course, because they cannot even think straight.
They run away. And you know what? Sometimes they get angry when their demand is not being met.
Wow. Before they are looking for the
They get angry. They get angry just like that. A young lady was telling me about a man that said he loves her and wants to get her and things like that. And the lady kept saying, no. And the man kept persisting, and the lady kept saying no. Then on this fateful day, the man came to the lady again and said all sorts, and the lady said, I've told you before, I was telling you again.
The answer is no.
The answer is no. Guess what? He got angry. He got angry. He said, what is it? What are you, whatever. It's not your fault. It's me that bring myself so low to your level. After all, you are, what do you have? This one and that one. You are this, you are that, and all that. The lady was just looking at it.
And not as if he's still going to give up.
After the whole exercise, he went away with anger. Do you know? Few days later, saw this girl again.
He will still come back.
You know what?
He doesn't know what he was doing yesterday.
He's not that kind of a man. He was not that kind of a man. But he doesn't know what came over him that made him to do that. And so you see, this is a very, 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 very dangerous thing that it has destroyed lives. It is still destroying lives, and it will continue to destroy lives.
People that face to learn from history.
Kingdom, empires, castles, thrones have been brought down just because someone somewhere cannot control his appetite for lust. Traps have been set to bring down powerful people because they know that they have this thing in their mind as a problem or as a challenge. So they use some of these things
to trap
them. And for many young people today, like I said, that the Newman said, if you overcome the battle of sex, you overcome 90% of the battle of the life. And most of these battles are as a result of lust. As a result of lust that people just, have within them. You're a girl, you see this guy, six-pack, he has six-pack, he's fine, he's good looking, and then you begin to fantasize yourself in his heart. And all of a sudden, every time you're always thinking about him, and that is why people now say, oh, they are in love. You're always thinking about him. Let me give you an instance. A young lady was telling me about a particular guy. Said he was in love with the guy, and I said, "How did you know you are in love?"
Okay.
He said, I always want to be around him." Okay. And I said, "Okay, you want to be around him. When you are around him, what do you do?" He said, that she is a cat. Cat? That's how she called herself. A cat. I say, how do you mean cat? He said, no, that she's catty. That's a word. She's catty. And I say, how do you mean catty? He said, cat always like to use her body to rob the owner and things like that. Okay. He said, so this person knows how to caress me, how to do this, how to do that. And I said, so every time she feels like she needs to be in quote catty state, always think of this person. This guy. Always think of this person, and of course there were a lot of abuse. There were a lot of abuse. They went their separate ways, but she was like, even though he's not good enough for me, but I still love him. And because I said no, that's not love. That's a serious issue of lust. Of lust. It's not love. It is love, and it is lust. And you see all these things going on around young people today because they cannot distinguish or differentiate between love and lust. And then they mix it up, and they become vulnerable all the time to most of these issues that you see around. So the concept of lust is as deadly. It's as deadly as anything. Even the Bible says it. It says every man is tempted when he's drawn away from his own lust. Yes. Every man is tempted. He has a lust. He has it in his heart. It is that thing that he has in his heart that then the temptation becomes fed on, and then he's tempted, and then he said, when lust has conceived, it brings forth death. That's death. Most of the time, the end result is death. Death of lust is always death. It's always death. So that's why this topic is very vital. It's not a section that we are just going to rush into. We'll take them step by step, line by line, and then we want to deal with it extensively so that whoever is entangled in it, or whoever is about to be entangled in it, will be able to have a clear understanding, and then by the grace of God, will not leave you without telling you what you can do to get out of it, or if you know someone who has been trapped in this, will be able to get out of it. Something shocking happened. Okay, not shocking because, like I said, nothing surprised me anymore. I think I've gotten to that level now where nothing surprised me anymore. What I hear, because I've had a lot, you know. Last week, the chat is still on my phone. Last week, a young girl sent me a message. He screenshot the conversation she had with a boy.
Okay.
This boy was asking for this young girl's cousin number.
Okay.
Thinking,
For business.
oh, yeah, to sell recharge card. Was asking for the number. And this girl said, I can't give you
My cousin's
my
number.
cousin's number. And he said, why not? Why not? Do you think I'm not good enough for your cousin or whatever? She said, I'm not, whether you are, that's not the,
Not here to measure you or
do
evaluate
you know
you.
this girl went as far to say, this, my cousin, is a small girl.
Mm.
He's way too young for you. And this person said, it does not matter to me.
Wow.
It does not matter to me. Eventually, the boy is on my phone.
Yeah.
He said to the girl, oh, my body is high. I want to have sex.
What?
He said point
Blank.
Point blank.
So all the age difference and the rest. Anyway, lost to make him not to even lose his senses.
So the girl was now asking me some questions. And I told her, I said, do you know that if this boy happens to be in the same room with your cousin around this time that he said his body is whatever, do you know he's going to rape this girl?
That's it.
She said, yes. Because from the way she looked, so the boy has fantasized
for a long time,
so much around this girl, and with other things that feed the lust in them. They are a wreck.
Mm-hmm.
They are a total, complete wreck. That they just cannot do anything, other than to mess up.
No self-control, no
total wreck. I was going on the road with a girl one day and oh my. Do you know Okada riders? They saw the girl and they were like, baby, please, anywhere you are going to, let me carry you for free.
On the motorcycle.
So,
what is this reward?
On the motorcycle.
What will be his reward?
Anywhere you are going to,
for free.
Let me carry you for free. Because they were looking at the girl and they were just
lost everything.
And like I said, it's a crave for the body, not for the soul.
Anything.
Not for the soul. It's a crave for the body. You're looking at the body. Look at this. Look at the course. Look at the shape. Look at this. Look at that. If this is how this person is going to look like in bed and all the stuff like that. And that's why you see some of them, when they eventually have their way with the opposite gender, I've had cases where they use languages like, it wasn't what they were expecting that they eventually met.
Hatred will come.
It's a serious one. It wasn't what they were expecting that they met. And the question is, what were you expecting? Meaning in their mind, they had already fantasized, they had already envisaged how the person is going to look like. So this issue is a very, very, very central and if not properly guided, people misbehave in it a lot.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. This is really this really open and so much to learn at this point in time, and I wish you're picking every point that this thing has brought down a lot of people, great men, has been brought down under it. We mention some people even in the Bible and our contemporary time that have been brought down under this surge. And history, especially negative history, are repeated by people that fail to learn from such a thing. I'm thinking you're looking at each of these today, whether you are a boy, whether you are a girl, whether you are a guy, or wherever you may be, that lust actually, will leave you without no sense, make people in the past have behaved like animals, so to say, because of lack of control, because of the rage and the rest of it. But what can we say? It's just that we're giving you all this information so that you be able to differentiate things, you'll be able to see things, and you will be able to identify. And as a girl, when you begin to see all these signs, you know what next thing to do, especially for you. Okay, so we'll continue to look at the proof. Yes, to look at the proof that this particular move is a lost. Just to show you, because we're trying to show you all that you needed to know, so that once you know what you needed to do, I think the things are done. So we'll continue now some of those proof so that you can see them. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. For the first part of this section, today I'll be rounding off this section with this. That's for today. Like I said, we'll have multiple sections on this particular topic, because it's not something that we can just exhaust in one section like this. I want to quickly talk about, because almost, okay, don't let me use the word almost, that would be fallacy of overgeneralization, as they call it.
Okay.
Most young people now will tell us or tell me that they are into relationship.
Yeah. I think
almost all of them are now in relationship, and almost all of them are relationship experts.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I have had cause to clean up so many mess by the so-called relationship.
Okay.
So many.
And the counseling from the experts.
Oh yeah, so many mess by the so-called relationship. So I want to quickly distinguish, to let you know, listening, that the so-called relationship that you said, oh, I'm in love. Some of you will tell me. Some of you will tell me, sir, you don't know that feeling. The way to be doing you, the way to be whatever you would, and I would be like, really? Oh, hey, yeah. I say, sir, at that time, your brain is not thinking straight. I say, hey, what a pity. Your brain is not thinking straight, and all that. So, how do we know that you are actually in lust?
Okay.
And not
in love. All right.
I would not encourage any young person out there to go into any relationship when you know that you are not ripe for marriage.
Okay.
But some of you is like, hey,
that's the thing in vogue.
That's the thing in vogue. We must be a partaker. We must get involved. Oh yeah, we are in love. It's a loving generation.
Okay.
And like Bible says, there is a generation that is wise in their eyes, but they are not clean from their filthiness. And I think it's this generation. So how do you know that this so-called relationship you say you are into is actually lust and not love? Number one, when you see yourself, you are dressing to impress the other partner.
Dressing to impress.
To impress the other person.
So not just dressing for corporate.
You are not
just
dressing.
Not dressing to feel good.
No, you are not just dressing because hey, I need to. Just the person is coming all of a sudden you see yourself adjusting. Yeah, if this is a video, you will see the way I'm gesticulating. You are adjusting yourself. You are putting some things in place. You are putting some things there, and then you want to see. You want to go and meet this person. You are dressing outside the normal, and people are asking, where are you going to hide? No, don't worry. And then, hey, good girl, good. Or as a boy, you see yourself around this girl or something. Everything you are doing, what you should do normally when it comes to dressing. But this time around you are doing it because you want to impress the other person. Then watch it is a sign of loss.
Okay.
Like I said, lust is about the physical attraction. Oh, what's the attraction to the person? Oh, this is back. What's the attraction?
You guys,
he's a fine boy. What's the attraction? If I take him around my friends, once they see me, they know that I choose well. Oh, what's the attraction? She's a fine lady.
Soft-spoken lady.
Oh no, it's not even about soft-spoken. Soft-spoken, you are going in now. What's the attraction? The way she dressed to kill. What's the attraction? A shape, this, that. I was asking a friend, a colleague many years ago, who said, "Oh, is this lady that I want to go? You love the lady and all that?" And I said, "Are you sure you love this lady?" He said, "Yeah, yes, now I love her." And I said, "Wait a minute. What if something happened and this lady had an accident and this face
no longer there? This
face become as a scar or something happened to the face." He said, "Why are you thinking like this?" I said, "No, it's not that I'm thinking like that. I'm just asking you." He said, if that should happen, then the love don't get accident with that.
That's lost.
And I say, wow. So can you see that it is not love? It's about lust. It's about lust because it considers only the physical. When you are with someone and the person you only say what the person wants to hear, you want to make yourself notice at all cost. You are lost. You want to see. You don't want to see anything
that will hurt or.
Yes, because if it is love, you say things. You tell each other the truth.
Yeah.
And the truth sometimes they hurt. Well, you want to say you are being careful what to say. Even if the person is this, no. You say you don't want to say what you get on the person's nerve. No. You are saying what the person wants to hear.
Spoil our mood.
You want to please the other person, and then you want to make yourself notice at all costs.
Okay.
Then, as a sign, you are lost. When you don't allow, when he does not allow you to see what lies underneath the body.
Okay.
Or you don't allow him to see what lies underneath the body. That's lost. He just only wants him to see the body. Anything outside the body,
not interested.
You don't want the person to see. Or the person does not want you to see. They want to appear to be perfect. You want to appear to be perfect at all times. Then, those are the signs. Then, personal issues. You don't discuss it. You don't talk about issues.
Goal setting. Progressive.
What is goal setting? You are going too far. Goal setting. Oh no. You don't talk about personal issues. Because you want to hide some things.
Yeah.
You don't want them to know some things about you,
Or really who you are.
or really know who you are. Those are true. Those are lost issue. There is something they call awkward moment of silence.
Okay.
When you see that you always trigger an awkward moment of silence. You may talk very briefly, just short. After the talk, everything is silence, because you don't really have any real conversation. You don't really have anything meaningful to talk about. You always see that there will be this awkward moment of silence between you. Then you discover that you only live for the moment.
Okay.
And not for the future. Only just this moment. Just like I had a song somewhere again said, the person said, "We got this moment, who needs tomorrow?"
Wow.
We got this moment,
who needs
tomorrow? Who cares about tomorrow?
It's not a growth mindset.
Let's just
enjoy today.
Let's just have today. Then, when every memory you have about the person is always about bedroom, nothing more. The only good memory you have about the person, like that girl I tell you, say, because she's catty. So whenever she wants to be catty, she remembers the guy.
This guy.
Because he is forgive me for this lack of better word. He is a cat owner. Abi?
Yes, no, because if she is a cat, then the guy is a cat owner.
So he knows how to take care of
the cat.
So if you are not catty, in quote, you don't even remember the guy. He's not even in existence.
Remember
in
the
your
cat
life.
owner.
You don't even remember the cat. He's not even in existence in your life. But every time you
the
want
moment
to catty, you remember him. You remember the person. And then you discover that every time both of you talk, or even if you talk at all, it's always dirty talks.
Not serious
It's always dirty talks. Or every time you think about each other, it's only about the dirty and the sexual things that you think about.
Wow.
Then it's lost.
Wow.
It's lost.
Wow.
It's lost. I stumbled on a young boy walked up to me and was discussing some issues with a particular girl and all that, and he said where we were in love and then we had to get out of our separate ways, but this girl doesn't want to go, blah blah, all those kind of ridiculous stories. And then I was like, okay, how do you know you were in love? By the time he started talking on and on like that, I discovered that
Sexually
by the time he was talking, I discovered that most of the things that this person is talking about, I said, okay, when you talk, what do you talk about? He said, every time it's always about dirty talks. It's always dirty talks that they talk about, They talk about the experience, the this, the that, how dirty things are, and that's what they talk about.
all the time.
And then like they say, talk dirty to mama. The guy will tell him, talk dirty to mama, and then he too will say, talk dirty to daddy.
Wow.
So they just talk about dirty things about their bodies, about this, about that. So when you see that all that is happening, it is absolutely nothing other than lost. Then when you discover that you cannot merge your social circle.
Okay.
You cannot merge your social circle. He cannot introduce you to his friends.
Or she too introducing you, vice versa.
To our people.
Lost.
He doesn't want to have anyone to be associated with him. Just the two of you, and you're just keeping it in between, and after that, nothing more. Then when you discover that each other's problem, you don't even care about it. You don't even care about each other's problem.
It's just what they derive.
Just hey, hello. Once we see each other, let's go do what we get to do. After we've done,
you go.
Let's go our separate ways. Let's go our separate ways. Till when? Whenever I need you, I'll call you. I'll call you. Then you don't rely on each other for anything. You don't need him for anything. You don't need it. Hey, a girl was telling me, I don't blame him. It's because I love him. It's because, and I say, how do you mean you love him? It's because I is it not because I go to him and then to whet my appetite?
Wow.
And then he say, after all, I don't demand anything from him.
Everything is for free.
I don't collect his money. I don't collect it. I've never received 10 kobo from him. And I said, really? He said, yes. So you don't rely. Say, I don't need this money. I don't need this whatever for anything. You know, as a matter of fact, sometimes I'm the one that give him something apart from my body, give him money and things like that. So those are signs that people are in love. Then when they are overly forgiven and they are lenient with each other, overly forgiven, you know why? Because he satisfied a yearning, and once he goes, that yearning, that vacuum is created. So
whatever that happens, forgive.
So he does overly forgive. They don't have high standard that they can hold each other to. There is no high standard anywhere that they can say, okay, I'm going to hold you to this standard. You are going to hold me to this standard. They just go about and going on their way. And then you discover that people like this, they keep secret a lot.
Even from themselves.
They keep secret a lot. Because there is physical connection.
Not
but there is no emotional
connection.
There is no emotional connection. It's just the physical. So you don't know the information that you are going to give him and where he's going to use it against you. And what makes this thing to become so terrible and bad is that do you know when people maybe when we get to the first we'll talk about, but let me just say this, that do you know people get married,
okay,
and even after they get married, in fact there is it's not official yet, but statistics is showing now in this part of our world that more married women are getting involved in extramarital affairs.
Why?
Oh yes, it's lost. They go back to their
ex,
to their former guy, and once they go back to the guy, not for money, not for this, not for that, just for the sex, for the satisfaction. And once they get the satisfaction, they say, I know I shouldn't be doing this. I know I shouldn't this, but hey, after that,
Oh, still
After a
do
while,
again.
they go back again. Go back again. So this is a very, like I said, it's very serious issue. But when you see some of these things in you, the so-called relationship that you say you are in, that you say you are in love, check out. Are you really in love? Or you are really
Lost.
in lust? So lust is a very, 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 very dangerous thing that if not checked, if not put under control, it has destroyed, like I said earlier, is as we speak now, is destroying, and it will continue to destroy. But the goal here is this, that you listening will not be a victim of circumstance to this deadly monster that is called lust. So hopefully by the grace of God, we'll have the time we continue this section, we'll be able to look more into what causes lust. Then what are the effects when lust has
the object.
what are the effects on both the object
And subject.
and also on the subject. Then why do people find it difficult to break off, even when they say that even when they know that it is wrong? Why do they find it difficult to break off? And of course, by the grace of God, we'll also be looking at practical solutions that you can take that will get you completely free out of this thing. Yes, it's a challenge, but it's not something that is not surmountable. A lot of people have overcome this challenge, and you cannot be an exception. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, friend over there. So, and it's been laid before you today. And like I used to say, well, for anybody that want to be wise, you associate with a wise person. And for the other one too, if you don't want to be wise, you want to be foolish, then that means that a foolish person will be around you. What I'm trying to do is change your focus this year. You've been in a relationship so-called, and all that we've discussed actually matches what that happens around you. I think you should give it a second thought and see how to pull back so that you can see some useful things you can do with your life. And like I do said, you are in need of more information, counseling, and the rest. You can reach out to us. You can be reached on 0092374502, 0092374502, and you can reach us on all the social media on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, even on the website. You can leave your message for us and we'll help you. So we trust God that we'll see you next time, and that you will have done something about this so that it can change your position and perspective. So we will meet again next time on this same station, this same show. God bless you.